Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
An inside look into how and when a coronavirus vaccine may be distributed in the U.S. as the U.S. hits a daily record for deaths from the virus. Good afternoon. We begin with the state's restrictions on the virus as several restaurants in Michigan may decide to ignore them and open for indoor dining. This afternoon at 1:30, Governor Whitmer will hold an update on the state's response to the coronavirus. And at the same time, a group of restaurant owners will speak, threatening to reopen their restaurants if the state's 3-week pause is extended. Let's bring in Victor Williams. He's working on this story for us this afternoon. And Victor, the director of the State Department of Health and Human Services, spoke to lawmakers this morning about why they feel these restrictions are so important.
Yes, Karen, this was a very long but serious meeting, and what was discussed is really going to help shape our future as we navigate through the rest of this pandemic.
With the levels of spread that we have in Michigan right now, there is no way to make people sitting around a table close together with masks off for an extended period of time a safe activity.
Robert Gordon, director of Michigan's Department of Health and Human Services, virtually sat before the Joint Select Committee on the COVID-19 pandemic to discuss epidemic orders. Throughout the questioning from state leaders, Gordon insisted the current restrictions and set of guidelines surrounding the coronavirus are indeed necessary. In-person dining, mask regulations, business shutdowns, and even more were among some of the topics touched on by the director. Gordon even brings up previous pandemics like the Spanish flu and how businesses were affected in the past. But the bleakest thing said was in response to what is believed to happen if these restrictions were taken away too soon.
I will say I think it would be beyond tragic if this authority were to be wiped away. I think many lives would be lost. This is an authority. These are powers that have been exercised by public health officials around the country for decades.
And Gordon says that he's waiting for the data from Thanksgiving to decide if the restrictions are going to be lasting any longer. Victor Williams, Local 4.
All right, thank you, Victor. New unemployment claims dropped last week to a still high 712,000. That's 75,000 fewer claims than the week before. Still, 5.5 million Americans overall are still on unemployment. Yesterday, the U.S. set a grim record, the highest number of daily deaths, with more than 2,700. In Michigan yesterday, we saw nearly 7,000 new cases and 81 more deaths. You can watch today's briefing with the governor live here on Local 4. We'll also stream it for you on clickondetroit.com. There are new details out today on how and when a coronavirus vaccine would be distributed. Federal agencies, state and healthcare facilities are gearing up for a possible approval this month. As Stephanie Goss reports, the FDA is working 7 days a week to analyze the data, hoping to bolster public confidence in the vaccine's safety.
With the British government set to distribute Pfizer's vaccine within the coming days, all eyes are on the FDA. Public pressure being dialed up on the agency to come forward with its own authorization. They say they are painstakingly going through every line of data from Pfizer before they grant this authorization. They will also hold a public hearing with a vaccine advisory board. The hope is that a transparent process will help bolster public confidence in the vaccine. Once that authorization comes through, HHS and the Department of Defense say they could have doses out within a matter of hours. Now, in the country, there are still questions about distribution and concerns, among them this issue of getting this Pfizer vaccine, which has to be stored in subarctic temperatures, to rural areas. I spoke with the CEO of a healthcare company in Kansas who says that state only has 10 facilities that can actually store the vaccine. He's worried that it's going to be difficult to get his healthcare workers vaccinated. He will have to take them off the job. And remember, it takes 2 doses to be vaccinated. They'll have to come off the job to get those vaccinations, and they are desperately needed. The other question is one of money here in New York. The governor, Andrew Cuomo, says that it's going to cost $1 billion to vaccinate the entire state. And so far, there's no federal assistance to make that happen. Stephanie Gosk, NBC News, New York.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. Former President Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton have all agreed to get the vaccine on camera when it does come out. They say they'll do it to show that it is safe. All right, let's take a look at your forecast. We got some more sunshine out there, which always brightens spirits. Brandon.
It does, no doubt, and good for anybody affected by, the clouds this time of year, seasonal affective disorder. This is the vitamin D that is free to you and me. Hey. Yes, it did. 41 degrees in Detroit, 45 in Ann Arbor, and this is where our live picture is. Milky skies there, so it's sun with some mid and high level clouds and a bit of a breeze. We're seeing wind chills in the low and middle 30s, even Harrow, Ontario, feeling like 27 degrees. So it's a southwest wind, 7 to 17, and gusting a little stronger, but it's not really bringing in warmer air when we've got temperatures here in the low to middle 40s into the afternoon. We don't get the benefit of a warm up. Instead, it's a little more of a wind chill. Still very pleasant. And there are more clouds coming as we head through the afternoon, but some of that snow with a glancing blow to the tip of the thumb. That's barely hitting the ground and will continue to stay away from us. There's another chunk of clouds coming our way Friday. It could bring a couple of drips, couple of flakes, and we will take a look at that. Plus your weekend. Karen, it's coming up.
Always looking forward to the weekend. Thanks, Brandon. We are learning about new threats made against state lawmakers. Members of the Michigan Legislative Black Caucus say they have been targeted with threats. Those threats include physical violence, also death threats. Earlier this year, armed protesters stormed the state capitol in Lansing in protest of Governor Whitmer's emergency orders. No word from police on if the threats are credible. Now to Decision 2020 as the Trump campaign continues to push unproven claims of voter fraud. The Biden-Harris team is moving forward with the transition. Today, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris appointed a University of Michigan grad to her senior staff. Rohini Kosoglu will serve as the domestic policy advisor to the vice president. Now, she's worked alongside Senator Harris and previously served as a legislative aide to Senator Debbie Stabenow. Yesterday, President Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, went before a state House committee. He urged Michigan Republicans to pressure the GOP-controlled legislature to award the state's 16 electoral votes to President Trump, despite Biden's victory.
I would consider a massive amount of evidence. What I'm holding in my hand are affidavits. These are sworn under oath. They have the power of evidence because they're sworn under oath. These are the things on which you bring indictments. And they allege massive cheating, particularly on the part of the Democrat Party of Detroit.
Attorney General William Barr says the Justice Department uncovered no evidence of widespread voter fraud that would change the outcome of the election. Some shipping remains halted after a freighter runs aground on the Detroit River. Sky 4 over the scene this morning as crews worked to free that vessel. The Harvest Spirit ran aground in the river's Livingstone Channel yesterday. The U.S. Coast Guard says they are working on salvaging plans. They do hope to begin the operation later today. Still to come this noon, this isn't your average accident on the freeway. Imagine driving and having a plane crash into you, where this aircraft caused chaos on an interstate. But first, he definitely made the right move at the right time. Watch a man escape injury as an earthquake rattles his workplace.